A supermajority of California students are failing to meet basic proficiencies, and the problem is about to get a lot worse despite the fact that taxpayers are spending more and more money on public education in this state. Coming up, I'll tell you what's driving the problems and how we can fix them so that our kids can have an education that they deserve. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and by every single measure possible, California schools are failing our kids. And the situation is only getting worse despite the fact that we've been spending more and more and more taxpayer money on public education. Let me give you the latest stats, and it is alarming. 67% of students in California, according to the latest proficiency exams, failed math. 67% failed, not passed. 67% are failing. A supermajority are failing. By the way, 84% of Black students are failing math proficiencies. 53% of students statewide are failing reading and writing. 70% of Black students are failing reading and writing. This is atrocious. But it just shows that our education system continues to fail these students, and there doesn't seem to be any crisis point. There's no call to action. In fact, the media seems to gloss it over, and the Democrat politicians that control these school districts continue to get a pass. Well, parents, they've decided that enough is enough. And parents are now pulling their kids out of these failing schools in record numbers. In fact, we've had a 400,000 decline in the number of students in California since 2018 alone. Now, some might say that's partly because of the pandemic. No, the trend began before the pandemic and has only accelerated since then. Now, I'm going to tell you that there are 3 reasons why the schools are failing in California. And there's something we can do to fix them. But before we do that, sound off in the comments below. Are you satisfied with the public schools in your area? Have you proposed changes in your school district only to be shut down by an unaccountable school board? What have you heard from Sacramento that you like? Would you consider moving your child to another school if you were given the financial resources to do so through school choice? Sound off in the comments below. And by the way, please share this video with your friends. We have to sound the alarm that these schools are failing and the situation will only get worse. All right, let's get back to the video. There are 3 reasons why California schools are failing. First and foremost, there's absolutely no accountability. And the schools are not accountable because it's not like the schools are getting punished when the students fail. The parents have no choice. Many parents don't have the financial means to move their kids into private education. Even getting into a charter school in California is hard, and the government unions are trying to shut down the charter schools that we do have. No, what we need to do is restore accountability, and the only way you do that is assign funding to the child, not to the school. You give each student in the state of California a flat amount of money that they're eligible to take to any school of their choice. School choice. It's the golden rule. If you move the money from a failing school to a better school, then it will deal with the issues of poor performance through the Darwinian system. The parents will be able to tell the schools, if you don't shape up, we're going to take our kids elsewhere. And it will also give schools that are succeeding, that are meeting the mark, it'll give those schools more resources to do their great work. The second reason why schools are failing is that we have a woke focus on our curriculum. Instead of focusing the energy, the debate, the discussion on how to improve math scores, improve reading and writing, improve curriculum and teaching, instead, they're focused on personal pronouns, how to choose your gender, very radicalized and inappropriate sex ed curriculum, and of course, racist curriculum through critical race theory. These educators are not trying to teach our kids the basic skills they need to succeed in a 21st century economy. They're trying to basically make them political activists. The focus is on how does Johnny feel rather than what does Johnny know? And of course, making sure that the latest narrative on politics is reinforced in the classroom so that these students graduate not with a path to success, but they graduate with a motivation to vote for the very people who run the show at the school district and in the state house, the politicians. The woke curriculum needs to be eliminated. We got to go back to the basics, reading, writing, and arithmetic, and make that the focus of every discussion, every debate. Third, bloated bureaucracies. We have spent more and more money on education in California, and we're getting less and less result. In 2019 to 2020, we were spending $15,204 per student. We were ranked 19th out of 51 jurisdictions studied. We've increased the amount of money spent on K through 12 education by 76% since 2009. Now, when you adjust the numbers based upon cost of living, California then moves down to 33rd. But we've still seen a massive increase in the amount of money we are spending on K through 12 education, and yet during the same time, the proficiency numbers have moved in the wrong direction. These funds that we just shared with you do not include bonds for big building programs that have been going on. Now, this is happening despite the fact that we project a decline in school attendance. We're still building bigger and bigger campuses, but expecting fewer and fewer students long term. And no doubt the lockdowns in California, which were the worst in the entire country, they went on for the longest. Those lockdowns did not help. They created lingering impacts. The politicians, instead of focusing on these problems, are trying to cover up their problems. They're covering up their failure. There's a recent effort to eliminate honors courses, for example, in these schools. Let me share you this article. This story is from the New York Post. It's about the school district. I think it's Culver City. Headline: Parents speak out against school canceling honors classes in the name of racial equity. Basically, the administrators at this school district, the teachers in Culver City Unified School District, say that they're concerned that not enough children of color are in the honors courses, and that it's unfair that certain racial quotas have not been achieved. And so they've decided to eliminate the honors courses in the name of equity. This is insane. Now, the interesting thing is the story quotes the administrators as saying that they're worried that there's not enough diversity in these classrooms. Well, what do? Do you solve that by holding back kids and lowering standards and keeping kids from getting advanced placement credits in these honors courses? Allowing kids to proceed at their pace? Do you do a one-size-fits-all approach? Or do you spend time taking accountability for the fact that you have failed minority students by not providing them a quality education? Don't fix a problem by lowering someone else's achievement. Fix a problem by increasing the achievement of those that are falling behind. And by the way, the elimination of honors courses has been a common push across the state of California. The other way that the politicians have tried to cover up their tracks is they want to get rid of letter grades and standardized test scores. Recently, school districts across the state began eliminating D's and F's because we don't want people to know that kids are failing. So we're seeing grade inflation like we've never seen before. Now, a lot of politicians are saying we need to move to pass-fail classes. Assembly Bill 705 eliminated the use of standardized testing for entry into our California colleges and universities. Since 2010, California has eliminated the high school exit exam and eliminated standardized testing in grades 9 and 10. There's now a push to eliminate all testing. So let's review the bidding. The solution that the Democrat politicians of California and these existing school bureaucrats have offered is, instead of fixing the failures, helping kids that are failing improve, they've decided to lower standards by eliminating honors courses, eliminating letter grades, and not doing standardized testing. Look, they'll say that the reason why is they want to take away the stress from these kids that have to study for these tests, and that letter grades impose so much anxiety on kids. That's a lie. Standardized testing and letter grades create stress and anxiety for a failing education bureaucracy. That's the only reason why the politicians want to eliminate these tools in schools. At Reform California, we've got a 3-point plan to fix our schools. First, as I mentioned earlier, we need school choice. Let's allow kids to have equal amounts of money controlled by their parents, the voucher program, for all kids to get an opportunity to go to a quality school. Poor performing schools will lose the money, and therefore they will be shut down. High performing schools will have a financial incentive to expand and grow. Second, we need to keep standardized testing and letter grades, and where school districts and the state of California has eliminated those tools for accountability, they need to be restored. Third, we need to elect better school board candidates who will eliminate the woke curriculum in the classroom and return to basics. School board candidates who will respect the voice of the parents. Parents are going to be fierce. They have the best vested interest in making sure that the schools are the best and that their kids are taken care of. Our project is online, and I encourage you to join. Sign up on the petition or the volunteer portals on this website and contribute. If you want to run for school board, we want to talk to you. We're training and mentoring and supporting quality school board candidates across the state. Go to reformcaschools.org. reformcaschools.org. 2/3 of kids failing math proficiencies, more than a majority failing reading and writing. This is a crisis. This is outrageous. It should be front page news. But it's just another day in the saga of California's failing school system. Let's do something about it. Go to reformcaliforniaschools.org and take action. Thanks for watching. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.